Golden State Warriors, the locals. The locals. They had a pretty strong debut in preseason yesterday, last night against the Portland Trailblazers. Shout out to Chauncey Billups and the Portland Trailblazers organization. I'm going to just touch on Portland real quick and Chauncey Billups. I think that they're going to be fine. Every time you have a new coach, there's always an adjustment period. Players learning the coaches, coaches learning the players, vice versa. So it's just, they're going to have to adjust to the type of personality that Chauncey Billups has. Chauncey Billups has always been a winner. He's proven that. Won an NBA championship, Finals MVP against the Lakers. So they're just going to have to learn each other and just get into a nice little rhythm, and everybody has to fall into their roles and understand what they're good at, and how they can bring value to the organization, so the team can win. I like that they have Derek Smith Jr. Or Dennis Smith. Is it Dennis Smith Jr.? Dennis Smith Jr. Yeah. He's not really found a home. I think Chauncey Billups will be a good mentor for him to help him come into that, that backup point guard role, and bring, leadership and some veteran savvy, somebody explosive who can get to the cup. You know what I'm saying? He needs to work on his outside shot. It seems like his form is a little different watching him shoot free throws. Yesterday, I thought Dennis Smith Jr.'s form was a little awkward. I didn't know he shot like that. So maybe if he could tweak that and get his hand underneath the rock, it seems like it's like a shot put, like it's on top, and he just shoots it without but he doesn't get his hand underneath. So yeah. But I think they can have some success. They got Larry Nance Jr. I thought he's a nice player for the Lakers and the Cavaliers before he was riddled with all those injuries. So he has nice size, athleticism. He has a basketball IQ. So that's going to work. Nasir Little, they have some pieces there, They have some pieces. Anthony Simon, so they have some pieces there. Some pieces. Marquise Chris was a nice pickup. I wish the Warriors could have held on to him or kept him when they traded him, because they had that injury trade exception, so they got rid of him. From my understanding, that if you get rid of a player, with the injury trade exception, you can't sign that player for a whole year from when you got rid of him. So he cleared, he was able to come back. He's rehabbed. He's back from his broken leg, fibula, or whatever he sustained. He's with the Warriors. So shout out to him, for coming back. So I think they're going to be fine. They just need to give more of an assertive effort on the defensive end of the floor. If everybody buys in on defense and understand that defense is really all about communication, our team defense is all about really communication and effort, then I think they can be good, because we know what they are offensively. As long as they run a motion offense, high pick and roll with Nurkic, and then do ISO ball with, two of the greatest one-on-one players in the history of the game. So I think they'll be fine. They just need to find a third scorer. Maybe Norman Powell can be that. He has championship experience. So I think that's going to be good for the Portland Trailblazers. So I think they'll be fine. They just have to follow Chauncey's lead. I know Chauncey will be fine. Just like with any new coach or any new transition from one thing to another one, you're going to experience growing pains. So he's probably going to experience that maybe later on, middle of the season, or probably after the All-Star break, depends on which time period. He experiences that. But for the most part, I think they'll be good. It's a lot of trade speculation and rumors about Dame Dollar wanting to go there. If it didn't come from the horse's mouth, stop putting those fake, false-ass rumors out there. Because you fuck up shit. You fuck relationships up between people. And then you have fans going off of what they heard and rumors. Oh, it was a rumor that this is this. Whether it's true or not, wait until the actual facts come out. You don't want to speculate and assume shit, because if it's not that, then now people then, said all these different things about somebody that they used to, glorify and love so dearly, but then they're believing all the shit that's in the press and the tabloids that's being put out by reporters in the media, and it's not true. You know what I'm saying? And then they make a judgment based off of that. So now you done turned your back on somebody that you love for your whole damn life, just because, you know what I'm saying, there were reports that he might want to go play elsewhere. So media, stop fucking shit up, motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Speak that real shit. Don't be speaking that fake ass shit to try to, sway the narrative and control the narrative. You know what I'm talking about? So it's all good on that. Now to get to the locales, you know what I'm saying? Them Golden Dubs, them Golden State Warriors, man. You feel me? The Warriors. The ceiling. I like the fact that Kevon Looney seems a little bit more settled where he is in the league now. Yesterday, he caught the ball and was very decisive. Now, mind you, Looney is not the most athletic big, like, you know what I'm saying? But he's very skilled for his size. See, I peeped that a lot of forwards that come from UCLA, they're never, ever, like, stricken with super athleticism, but they have an understanding and an IQ for the game. It seems like all the bigs that come from UCLA are all like that. You know what I'm saying? Except for like the Ryan Hollins of the world. Like, he was super trash though, you feel me? So shout out to Ryan Hollins wherever he at, you know what I'm saying, doing some analyzation on the basketball games, which you don't know what the fuck he be talking about. But yeah, I thought they always get like Kyle Anderson, you know what I'm saying? Kevin Love, Kevon Looney. That's just to name a few. Like, we could probably search up some more and find some more in there, but that's just to name a few. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, but I like Kevon Looney. He's assertive. He's not afraid to take that, 15, 18-foot jump shot. I think that'll bode well, because in a high pick and they're going to use Kevon Looney in a high pick and roll. He's going to go hit a body. He's going to roll. He's going to pop. You have to be able to pick and pop. So once he rolls, that 15-foot jump shot is wide open for him every time. So I think that's found money. If he can do that, that's found money, because he's not really going to be, you know what I'm saying, a presence in the paint, I would say. Now, I don't know if he worked on his footwork or he worked on his jump hooks. You know what I'm saying? Because you could get money down there all day. Offensive rebounds, putbacks. But he has to know how to use his body and his size, so to his advantage. So I think Kevon Looney, I loved his assertiveness yesterday in the game. So that was pretty huge right there. Evaluating the rest, I would say, for Draymond Green to not really be at camp the way he should have been, you know what I'm saying? He should have used that time to really work on his conditioning. I can tell that he's a little bit overweight, like, so he needs to get his conditioning in. I think Draymond Green needs to shed some pounds, and I think that'll happen throughout the season, barring if he gets injured or not. But I think that he can definitely, thin out a little bit more, be a little bit more agile. But I love Draymond's assertiveness as well. See, they came out with real, you know what I'm saying, real aggressiveness and assertiveness. And that's big, though, because there was a lot of times where Kevon Looney, Draymond Green, and our front line will pass up wide open shots just to try to force feed, Steph Curry a lot of times. And Steph Curry, he can shoulder that load, but he doesn't want to shoulder that load. He's older now. You know what I'm saying? And he doesn't want that much responsibility. See, you have to understand how you can utilize your star players, allow them to get their rest while still sustaining, you know what I'm saying, that level of play. So that's really the challenge for the Warriors, is those minutes that, Curry and Draymond is on the bench, and Klay Thompson at times. Can they sustain the level of play? Like, if they have a lead in Curry and Draymond, or Curry, Klay, and Draymond, or whatever, duo or threesome that you want to send to the bench at that time, can those bench players still keep a lead as if they have a lead at the time that those other players go to the bench? Can they sustain a lead? Can they withhold a lead? Or if those players go to the bench and it's a close game, maybe between 5 to 8 point deficit, and they're going to the bench and they're losing, can that second unit, can they gain ground and close the gap on that lead? So by the time those star players, Curry, Green, Clay, is finished resting, can they come back and they be like, we in a comfortable spot, we gonna take us home now? See, that's important, man. You have to have a bench. You have to have a good bench, and you have to be able to give your superstar players the rest that they need to preserve them, because we already know that the season is very long. 82 games, and then the playoffs and an all-star weekend, so that's a lot of basketball being played. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to be key. Another factor for Warriors' success this season is I think they're going to have to gain rebound. I'm talking about I need all 5 bodies on the boards, because rebounding has always been the Warriors' Achilles heel, because they like to run and stretch the floor, you know what I'm saying, with a lot of wing players, and they play small ball. So it's pretty like kind of like the Don Nelson system, in with the Greg Popovich system, mixed in with a little bit of the triangle system, because I understand that Steve Kerr have been in, you know, obviously the triangle and Greg Popovich system with the ball movement and sharing the ball. So he kind of like, it's like a hybrid between the two. So his offense is predicated on a lot of player movement and a lot of ball movement. A lot of player movement and a lot of ball movement, and then they run a lot of action out of that post, like the triangle offense, where you had that triangle formed on the weak side, and that ball goes into the post, and that other man cuts and dives through, and then the other man come, and they still form a triangle once the ball goes to the top of the key, and then that man comes, set that high pick. So it was always a triangle form on the court in Phil Jackson's offense. Player movement, body movement. So that was crucial. So, and another thing is, the Warriors have a lot of veteran players now. That's good. So now a lot of the young guys can kind of like learn, you know, certain habits and practice and throughout the season what it takes to, you know, sustain an NBA career, you know, how to be a professional on and off the court, you know, how to be that locker room presence, you know what I'm saying, and then how to maximize your potential. They have a lot of veteran leadership when it comes to that, you know what I'm saying. Good thing they brought back Iggy. He's going to add value in that area. He's still an elite defender, in my opinion. Then they have a lot of interchangeable wing guys, just like Andre Iguodala. So shout out to Andre for coming back. I know his son still goes to school, you know, out here. So that's big, man. But there's one big old asterisk. You know what I'm saying? I love the Otto Porter pickup. I love the Avery Bradley pickup. But they serve no purpose if they're not healthy. Because defense is that was a big Achilles heel that we had. Our front court got into a lot of foul trouble because our guards couldn't keep the ball in front of them and flatline out those guards and push them to the sideline. There was too much downhill penetration, and a lot of that penetration came in set offenses, like poor communication on the backside, no help defense. You have to learn how to, hard hedge and recover. Or if you're going to fully commit, fully commit and try to draw that offensive foul by taking a charge. So I think that's important, but it's all going to lie on the health of Otto Porter and Avery Bradley. You know what I'm saying? It's very crucial. So they need to learn how to take care of their body and play at a level to where they are under control, but still give that maximum effort and use their basketball IQ. Unfortunately, it's sports and injuries are a part of any sport. I understand that, but it just seems like certain players have the worst luck when it comes to sports. Just like Chris Paul. Some of Chris Paul's injuries that he sustained over the last several years could have been avoided had he just played under control. Sometimes he a little too feisty. You know what I'm saying? He feel like when he get frustrated or something, that he gotta go reach or he gotta get on the mix and just play with extra energy. It's a certain time and a certain place to make certain plays like that. But just to go after and just play recklessly like that, you're going to get injured every time. So have an awareness of where you are on the floor. Because, you know, a lot of ankles get sprained, you know. Just having an awareness of people, you know what I'm saying, angles, spaces on the floor where you think you might be able to get to a screen. And sometimes you might run into somebody and dislocate your shoulder, or you might have a hip flexor, or you might go knee to knee or a knee on the thigh and have a thigh contusion. So you have to be aware of positioning. You know what I'm saying? Pace is also another thing. You know what I'm saying? That's going to dictate how well the Warriors play. What kind of pace are they going to play with? Are they going to be just a running gun? Because they jacked up 60-some threes yesterday. So that's like, I think it was one off of the record of the Houston Rockets. And that's D'Antoni's system, so you know he's going to shoot 400 threes a game. You feel me? So that's not really like Steve Kerr's system. So I'm trying to figure out, are they going to be a running gun? Are they going to come down and run offense and, you know what I'm saying, get into their sets? Are they going to be early offense? I know it's basketball. A lot of things is just motion. But what kind of team are they going to be? You know what I'm saying? Because I think the Warriors are best when they're not playing super fast, because then people get out of character and start having a lot of turnovers. And then they start overpassing. Sometimes people pass down wide open shots to try to get a shot that's more open than the wide open, and sometimes it's just not there, so they playing hot potato with the ball, passing back and forth. You know what I'm saying? The ball should always start on the inside and then work its way on the outside, whether it's through dribble penetration, whether it's through entering the ball in the post, etc. But the ball should always work inside that paint. You know what I'm saying? And somebody should always be in triple threat looking to attack. Just look at the basket. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to have a defense shifting and all eyes going to be on that person. So then once you got somebody on the weak side of the floor, you got action over there. Off-ball screens, backdoor plays, high-low entry. You know what I'm saying? A dribble handoff, fake it, then the lane open up for you. So it's a lot of things that can work well with you. Just take the ball inside first. But pace is going to dictate a lot of successful players. Another thing that the Warriors can do, or another thing that they can hang their hat on that's going to give them a lot of success, you have to let Jordan Poole be Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole is more than capable of starting on any other team in the NBA. He has the range. He has the aggressiveness. He has the 1-2. And he has the basketball ability. He's capable of carrying your team for long stretches of the game. I'm talking about when he gets hot, and then he has a handle to where his handle can set up a lot of scoring opportunities for not only him but his teammates too, because he can get past that first line of defense. Now he got floaters that he, you know what I'm saying, perfected. He got layups with the right and left hand. He can get in there and make that extra pass to the wing, which that pass is like the hockey assist. That pass might lead to the next pass, and that's a wide open jumper. Now the defense is scrambling, but Jordan Poole is an X factor. He can start if you need him to start, just in case somebody goes down or has to miss time for any reason. So I think Jordan Poole is the X factor. You have to look at it. Sean Livingston and Leandro Barbosa had a lot of success for the Warriors. Leandro Barbosa was a blur. Leandro Barbosa didn't shoot like Jordan Poole. You get what I'm saying? So Jordan Poole is about Leandro Barbosa's size. Jordan Poole is about Leandro Barbosa's size, if not a little bigger, but then smaller than Livingston. Livingston, we know what he gave on the defensive end of the floor and on the offensive end of the floor in the post. That 15-foot jump shot was lethal, and then his defense and then his basketball IQ. But Jordan Poole can be better than both of them put together just because his ability to do different things, you know what I'm saying, from the guard position, utilizing that handle. So just by him utilizing that handle and then being able to have the range, you know what I'm saying, and to shoot different shots. See, he shoots better than Leandro Barbosa and Livingston. Livingston was a better post-up player. But none of them shot the long ball like that. So that three-pointer, we know now in the NBA, will open up every other part of your game. So that's big. I think that's going to be huge for them. Jordan Poole he's on his way to being something special, in my opinion. That's my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And he's another player. He wants to play defense. When I watch him play defense, he wants to be good on that side of the ball. Because it's really all about effort and having a basketball IQ, understanding players' tendencies. So that's what I would really just challenge the Warriors on, is just really studying the game. Studying players' tendencies. Your opponents, you play them and you watch them all year long. You've been playing with them since AAU. You've been playing with them since this, that, and the third, college, high school. So you should know what what players like to do well, where their sweet spots are, what's their go-to move. Okay, at what part of the game is he going to be aggressive, and what part is he going to be passive? So you should be able to dictate all those things. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I can dictate all those things from sitting at home watching on a television screen, then I know the people who right up close in front can see a little bit more in depth than what I'm looking at. You know what I'm saying? So, but you know, my basketball IQ is set at a different level. You know what I'm saying? So, Warriors, if y'all need to, you know, scout a player personnel or somebody to break down anything, you know, come holler at your boy. You feel me? Because you thought Draymond and Iguodala and all them IQs on the charts. You know what I'm saying? There's certain shit that I see, and I know about every player in the league, what their tendencies and what they like to do and don't like to do. I'm already knowing, like, you know what I'm saying? I already know when LeBron gonna try to be aggressive and then when he gonna come out and be passive. So it's certain parts of the game where you need to know that and then take advantage of that. Attack. You know what I'm saying? Take advantage of when he's passive. Because if he's trying to get everybody else involved, that means that's taking his offensive ability out of the game. So you should be able to capitalize on those minutes to where he just looking to distribute. You know what I'm saying? Looking to distribute. You could take advantage of that full-fledged. You should be able to at least gain at least 10 points from him just saying, okay, I ain't shooting right now. And then when LeBron is aggressive, that's when you allow him to just go one-on-one. You have to understand, you want LeBron to be aggressive. You feel me? Because you know why you want LeBron to be aggressive? He doesn't want to. That's not his natural makeup. LeBron is only aggressive because he knows he can. And he has to be. But naturally, LeBron, he's a facilitator who happens to score. He's not a scorer who happens to facilitate. You get what I'm saying? So you have to understand that. LeBron would rather give it and dish it off to somebody else because LeBron always know that he can get his anytime he wants. I don't know how, but he can. that means motherfuckers need to start playing some harder defense on him and stop letting this motherfucker do whatever the hell he want to do. Motherfucker, shit. If you play hard on a motherfucker, you're going to bring him down to reality. If you just letting motherfuckers do what they want to do without no resistance, they going to look like all pro everything. So remember that. Always give maximum effort and play hard. But the Warriors need to study player tendencies of their opponents. You know what I'm saying? You have to be ready each game. It shouldn't be one game to where they come out and they should just get blown out. Does that mean they're not prepared from a mental standpoint? You got to come out here and be prepared every game. You know what I'm saying? And you have to live with the results. As long as you know you put your best foot forward and you played hard every possession, then you have to live with those results. And I can live with it too. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna have to make that happen. You feel me? But those are, some key things to watch for the Warriors this season. You know what I'm saying? I see Steph Curry I'm just really feeling it out first, man. He didn't want to do too much to where he might, pull something or, sustain a little knick-knack injury or whatever. So he was it was really all about the cardio, getting that game action and experience. Because you got to think, the season starts less than 2 weeks away. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna come real fast. So just this experience, these preseason games are important to get your conditioning up. Draymond, get that motherfucking conditioning up, and all the other players. You know what I'm saying? But just I know Steve Kerr is trying to find the right combination of guys to play, and I understand that. I mean, because you know why? It's hard when you got a lot of interchangeable guys. That's why I don't understand, why do you have so many small forwards and shooting guards? Everybody not going to be able to get minutes. Michael Molders, the Damian Lees, all of these players, this is really sort of kind of like an audition for other teams who needs to add players, you know what I'm saying, who can fill out their rotation. Guys that you can plug in. The Warriors have too many interchangeable pieces. I don't think everybody's going to be able to play. You know what I'm saying? So it's too many guys, especially if Avery Bradley and Otto Porter Jr. is to stay healthy the whole season for the most part of the season. They're not going to be healthy every game, but for the most part of the season, it's going to be hard for Damian Lee and Michael Mulder and all these other guys and Juan Toscano Anderson to get minutes. You know what I'm saying? So, and then you have Bielitsa, Nemanja Bielitsa. You have him. He doesn't really, I don't think he really adds anything to the team except for somebody else that can shoot at his size. He's not really quick enough. You know what I'm saying? He has guard skills, but he's not really quick enough to get by his defender. So, I don't know what the purpose of getting him was for. It might have been just to have, an international player on their team, because I think every team in the NBA has an international player, or international born player. So I think that's just the politics of it, because I don't see where he fits in, because he's not a great defender. You know what I'm saying? So where is he really gonna add value? He doesn't grab a whole ton of rebounds. He's not athletic. You know what I'm saying? He's just somebody who has skills at his size and can shoot. You know what I'm saying? But he hasn't been one of those guys where he hits 6, 7 threes and 5 threes in a game before. He's not a three-point specialist, so I just think that the reason for signing him was more based off of politics. You know what I'm saying? So we already know how that works in the NBA. So you have that. Juan Toscano. Interesting. I mean, like I say, it's a lot of interchangeable players. I just don't know where they're going to find time to disperse between all these different players. You know what I'm saying? I would say if the Warriors had to go to like a 9-man rotation, because you got to think that the superstars are going to gobble up most of the time. So, and your bench players, your role players only going to get maybe like 12 to 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So it's not going to be a lot of time for a lot of these players to get a lot of playing time. Like enough playing time where they can be effective and come into a zone. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's going to have to be a lot of sacrifice. So we're going to see how that plays out. We're going to see how that plays out. So with that being said, that's my overview of, this Warriors upcoming season. I'm going to need all of them to attack that boards, though. You got to go attack that glass. You need to gang rebounders. We're undersized. I didn't touch on James Wiseman, because he's a question mark. James Wiseman is a question mark. You just don't know. We know what potential he has, but you have to really go off of the mindset. Does he want to be great? What has he been doing in the offseason to, gain ground on that draft class? To be the best player of that draft class. Be the best player on the team. That's always your mindset. You have to want to be the best at something. And the only way you be the best is a lot of studying and a lot of work. The work ethic has to speak volumes. So I just don't know. Basketball acumen, just wanted to get my take on it. I'm gonna be doing a lot more stuff touching on the NBA. I don't want to get too much into the politics, but I'm saying I'm gonna just be breaking down, players, habits, film, studying people's game, giving you an analysis on different games. And that's it, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have a good one. And I'm going to see y'all in a second. Yes, sir.